Now, this is on this website that's been running since sometime last year called Cannabis Africa. And this is one of the best names for a story that I have heard, I think, maybe ever. It's quite a long title, but it is so accurate and spot on. It says, "Cry the beloved continent. Crack the colonial cannabis mindset. The world doesn't want us to heal it with CBD. Everybody just wants to get stoned on our weed." And that is the truth. And the government denies it, but we don't. We know the truth.
No, exactly.
So the story goes, I just wrote down a few highlights from it, so I don't have to read it all. It says, Africa exports an estimated 38,000 tons of illegal weed a year. And yeah, and
is that all?
But still, most of it gets smoked here as well. It says 8 countries that have legalized export in Africa. Okay, now these countries all have something to answer for. They are Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. These countries are exporting cannabis, and these countries are all also still arresting their citizens in the streets for the same plant. All right. Second part of the story. Because of poor economic conditions faced by many African countries, any legalization of cannabis in the region will have a duty to safeguard local interests. So this story has a large focus on the ones that are left behind. The rural communities in Africa that have been growing cannabis as their staple crops for years and years.
Can we call them legacy growers?
Probably. They're probably the legacy growers.
They are the legacy growers.
And you know what I found that really just makes my blood boil, is that these countries are really proud of the fact that they're exporting medicinal cannabis.
Yeah, they announce it, the media plays along.
I mean, I got sent a voice message from somebody in Namibia who was trying to sell his dacha business to the Namibian activists. And one of his selling points was that not 1 gram of this cannabis is going to be used in Namibia because it's still illegal.
Yeah, it's such a
Every
shame.
single bit is going to be, and he was proud of that, and I thought that was the saddest thing that I'd ever heard.
They should be so embarrassed.
Yeah.
They should be embarrassed. It's an hateful action to make money from a product that you're busy putting your very own citizens,
it's caught
your
before the
supporters,
horse.
your taxpayers into jail for. It's retarded.
And why does it always happen that way around? And now in Africa as well, just like in America, you know, first they bring in just a little bit of export, then maybe medicine, but responsible adult use is always left out.
It's always right at the end. But I think we can give a shout out to this media house. You know, they have been bringing out such amazing content. Like sometimes 2 articles a day. I don't know how they get to write it so much. I think they're from Zanin, so they're from a small town, so maybe they've got more time than us, but it really is, it's blown us away, the content that's been coming from
They've
them.
just started a bail helpline with Schindler's attorneys, so you can now contact them as well if you get arrested.
Maybe we should get them on the show sometime.
And on their website, they link to us, they link to our Stop the Cops campaign, and they also advertised our launch of our manifesto that happened 2 nights ago. So thank you to Romanos from Cannabis Africa. You guys are doing great work out there.
Yeah.
Kenzie says that it's the same things happening in Spain. I didn't realize it. I thought that they had much more of a relaxed outlook on it, with the fact that they have club models and that they're kind of looking at it.
But
that's why they all look at us so jealously, because we're the ones that have got the right to private use.
Those clubs are under constant threat all the time, because there's such a push and pull thing in Spain. Obviously, the most clubs and the most concentrated weed is in Barcelona, much more so than Madrid. But we're forever hearing of clubs that are being arrested. There's one club...
So it remains a risky space.
Yeah, it remains a risky space. And I think so, while we've been mentioning all of these African countries, I think that it's not only in Africa, you know, South America, Caribbean, all around there. You know, I think that generally the legalization of cannabis is going to take a lot more time.
Yeah.
I think we could look at another 5 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, these governments seem to see success in the cannabis world as getting your export business, sorted out. And that is the big mistake they're making, because there's trouble coming. Let me tell you, there's trouble coming.
You have to take care of your citizens first. how can you expect your citizens to take care of you and support you? Exactly.
Exploitation.
Exactly. It's exploitation.
I think it's really, really good to rant, you know?
Yeah.
We love our cannabis culture, but I think that it's also important to, within our cannabis culture, create an awareness of all of the dark side of things as well. So you'll be seeing in the show going forward, you'll be going to see some serious stuff and some light-hearted stuff, some music and some art and some this and that. Don't forget to let us know in the comments what you'd like to see on the show. We really do take your viewers' suggestions very seriously. There are 100,000 different ways to get hold of us, from the Fields of Green website to all of our social media.
Instagram.
Please let us know. Like, share, subscribe is my little mantra for the evening. But that is not our only CBD and story today.
That brings us exactly where we were now about the uprising today. We went, and a few members of our Hotbox crew as well, to Pretoria to look at the BFASA marching towards the SAHPRA offices, and they handed over a memorandum, right, Joe?
They did.
We met Dr. Lennox there, and we saw several other members of the cannabis community as well as several organizations. The march wasn't hugely well attended by the public, but what was noticeable was the amount of organizations that were there. I think 6 or 7 different big organizations, including the traditional healers, were there, and they all rocked up and everybody stood together and they sang, and it was a beautiful show.
There was a lot of community feeling around everybody. There was no like, oh, you from this organization, no, we don't talk to you guys. Oh, no, we're better than you guys. Like, everybody stood together, we sang together, we marched together. All of the elders and the leaders got to speak to the DG one-on-one, sort of like they each got a turn with the microphone to address them and address their concerns, which was lovely. Charles took a turn for us with his Good People Disobey Bad Laws shirt there in front of all the cops.
And the Rastafari were there too.
Yes.
And we marched along with them, holding our Fields of Green banner, and we walked how many kilometers? 2 or 3? Or
it was
4?
about 3 or 4 kilometers from SAHPRA's office to the police station where they went to go and lay a charge against the people from SAHPRA.
Yeah, that was at Sunnyside Police Station. We spent quite a while there as well.
We did.
And they laid a charge against Helen Rees and another person, I think, from SAHPRA.
2 others,
3 people were laid charges against.
You know, now here's the thing with SAHPRA. I think that SAHPRA have been given a mandate. Okay, they've been given a mandate to regulate pharmaceutical cannabis. Okay, so we're talking single molecule cannabis. Yeah, we're talking not flowers. We're many, many years away from that.
Compounds.
You know, isolated compounds. We're talking stuff that's come out of a lab, basically.
Like CBD.
So that there is a place for that in South Africa, and SAHPRA have been given that mandate. But I think what the march was about today wasn't to get SAHPRA, you know, that SAHPRA's mandate is wrong. It's not that. It's that SAHPRA are trying to extend their mandate to all of us, to health products or so-called alternative medicine products. They're trying to, they already have got CBD wrapped up, and I know that the New Cannabis Trade Association for Africa, Schindler's attorneys, and a whole lot of people are getting together, TNHA, to challenge the CBD regulations in court. So we are not denying SAHPRA their mandate, but they must keep to their corner, because it's a small corner.
It's a very small corner.
You know, we can't, in South Africa, we cannot afford that pharmaceutical medicine. I'm not on medical aid. 80% of South Africa is not on medical aid. What? And now it's got to be imported. Because one must always remember that there is no pharmaceutical grade cannabis from South Africa for sale in South Africa. If you want a prescription for cannabis, you've got to use imported cannabis.
That's Section 21.
So stick in your corner, SAHPRA, stick in your corner. That's why we're upset.
And medicine is only 10% of the whole cannabis economy. It's only 10%.
Yeah.
If you want to grow weed to make socks or roads or
responsible adult
or
use,
cattle feed, I mean, SAHPRA's got nothing to do with that. They really need to sit down in their little naughty corner and put their dunce hats on.
the smallest part of the pyramid.
Yeah.
But look, all the right people are putting in good intention, at least. Everyone's standing up now, finally, for something.
Today was a
It just needs
beautiful
to be
day.
directed in the right way.
Yes.
I think so. And we've got a little trick up our sleeve with the Black Farmers Association and Dr. Lennox, who we've known for a long time and we highly respect, is that we're busy getting them riled up about the cops. So watch this space. You know, we're gonna do something with BFASA and with the Rasta United Front and all of them about the cops. So that was a nice march, and I'd just like to say thanks very much for Nick and Charles and Joe and Nelio for schlepping out to Pretoria today. I know you had to wait a long time before the march began and one of these drawn out things, but they got back here in time for the show tonight, so thanks very much for doing that, representing
Look, it was a wonderful
for us.
opportunity to network and to get back into the community.
It was really nice to watch the videos when they came home and see, and you know, just about everybody in that crowd, you know?
Yeah, there's lots of photos you won't see in the news if you go to our Instagram story, hotboxshow.co.za Instagram story.
Yeah, and we did a little live stream on the Daka Couple Facebook page as well, which you can go and have a look at.
I managed to squeeze out one fuck the police in front of the police station.
Yay!
The police were quite pleasant today. They never threatened us or anything.
Yeah.
There were no arrests that I know of.
There was one that had his gun unclipped, and there was one walking around with an R5 trying to, like, you know...
No, they're still the police.
Ego.
Yeah.
But we just laughed. I went and bought a cold drink and I opened it up in front of them.
But we
and
smoked
said,
weed in front of them and they
"Man."
didn't say anything, and I've never seen that before. They always hassle the smokers at marches, you know.
Yeah.
This time the cops were okay with the smoking.
Oh, yeah, Tata literally had a joint behind his ear while he was
Yeah.
busy talking to the cops.
They didn't even look or stare.
Mm.
That was interesting to see.
I don't think the cops would really want to take on Rastata. Somehow, I don't think so. Not even a hardened Pretoria cop would really want to take him on. But I think that was a great thing to do. And while us white people are not very good at marching, and I know I'm particularly bad at it, I don't know the songs and all that. I think
I felt so bad today. I didn't know the
coming
lyrics.
together. Maybe we can have a Hotbox workshop where we can learn some marching songs. Yeah.